So children, today we are going to start unit 1, that is a plant life. Under that we'll study the topic parts of a plant. So children, before going to start our topic, I want you people to explain in your own words how each of the following things is useful to plants, that is sunlight, wind, rain and insects. I want you to write one uses for each of the following.
Hi, kids! Today we will learn more on plants and its different parts. So let's start. Plants are one of the most important things on the planet Earth. Without plants, there would be no food to eat and no oxygen for animals to breathe. Plants have different parts where each part has different roles to play. All plants have two main basic parts. That is, the root and the shoot. The part of the plant that remains under the ground is known as the root. The part of the plant that remains above the ground is known as the shoot. The main function of shoot is to produce food for the plant by process of photosynthesis. And it carries out the process of reproduction too. The main functions of root are to anchor the plant in the soil and to absorb water and minerals from the soil, and also stores food in some plants. Now let's learn the function of roots in detail. Roots absorb water from the soil, which in turn provides the plants with nutrients and minerals. As we need food and water to live, same way, plants need these minerals and nutrients to grow strong and healthy. Minerals and nutrients travel up the roots to the stem and different parts of plants to provide nutrition to all parts of the plant. Roots anchor the plant. That is, root fix the plants into the soil. Roots also hold soil particles together. That prevents the soil from being washed away with rain or storm. So roots are the support system of the plant. Some roots also store food in them, like carrots, radish, and turnips are tap roots that we eat. Now let's see different types of roots. There are mainly two kinds of roots: tap roots and fibrous roots. When a single thick main root grows below the stem, it is called tap root. Many thin roots, which are unequal in size, grow from this main root. Beans, carrots, mango, radish, rose, hibiscus, and turnips are the plants that have tap roots. Tap roots store food in them, and we eat these roots. When a bunch of many thin and bushy roots grow below the stem, it is called fibrous root system. These thin and bushy roots are nearly equal in size. Grasses, maize, bamboo, coconut tree, onion, rice, and wheat are the plants that have fibrous roots. Now let's learn about the shoot of the plant. Part of the plant that grows above the ground is called shoot. Now let's see different parts of the shoot: leaves, petioles, nodes, buds, flowers, fruits, and branches are all different parts of shoot, and each part plays a different role. Stem is the central main part of the plant. It holds the plant upright. Leaves prepare food for the plant with the process of photosynthesis, and leaves are also called the food factory of plants. Flowers. They are the most beautiful part of the whole plant and are the reproductive part of the plant too. And we will learn more about flowers, its structure, and different parts in our next assignment. Fruits. Fruits store the food prepared by the plants and also enclose seeds within them. Different types of plants have different types of stems. Big trees have strong, very hard, and woody stem, which is called a trunk. Shrubs. Shrubs have brown and thick stems, but not as thick as trees. Herbs have green and soft stems. Climber and creepers have very soft and green stems that can't keep the plant upright. Creepers and climbers need some support of an outside object to climb up or crawl along. Some stems are thick and juicy. For example, sugarcane. Sugarcane is a thick and juicy stem that people eat. Some stems remain underground and store food like ginger, potato, and onion. These are actually stems that we eat. So kids, today we learned different parts of plants and their functions.
Plants. Plants are everywhere. In the forest, in your neighborhood, in the country, on mountains, on farms, in your schoolyard, even in the sidewalk cracks in the city. A plant can be an apple tree, the grass on your soccer field, flowers in the flower pot in your kitchen, even that catnip your cat goes crazy for. That's a type of plant. We eat plants. They provide us with oxygen. They feed animals. Plants provide decorations. They're even used to make clothing, backpacks, and other household items. They're inside, outside, on rooftops, on golf courses, and just about everywhere. When you bite into an apple, have some bread, eat that pasta, quench your thirst with some orange or pineapple juice, eat those chips, or have that cookie, you're eating or drinking plants. Without plants, animals like you and me, including all the wildlife in the world, wouldn't be able to survive. So let's start with the basics. What exactly are plants? What do they do? And what are they made of? Plants are living organisms like you and me that need several essential things to survive: water, air, light, and nutrients from the soil. They also reproduce like all other living things. Every plant starts out as a seed. A seed is either planted in the soil by people, blown there by wind, or brought there by an animal. When a seed takes root in the ground, it uses that soil's nutrients to start to grow. Tiny holes in the seeds are called pores, and they drink in the nutrients and the water that the plant will need to continue to thrive. When the seed breaks open and a plant emerges, it will extend upward towards the sun or a source of light. As it grows, different parts of the plant will start to show, and eventually that plant will create seeds of its own, and the process will start all over again. The various parts that make plants are not that different from our own bodies, in the sense that every part of a plant serves a specific function. Your blood carries oxygen around your body, from your heart to your brain. Your lungs breathe air in and out. Your stomach digests your food. Your skin protects your body. Plants have their own parts, such as their roots, their stems, their leaves, and their flowers, and they all have their own unique purpose. Each small part of the plant plays a vital role in making sure the plant survives and thrives. Here are the basic parts of every plant: the roots, the stem, the leaves, the flowers, the fruits, and the seeds. Of course, we know that the roots are underground and are the first part of the plant to grow out of the seed. But what do roots do? Well, first of all, they support and anchor the plant so it won't blow away or fall over. They also absorb water and nutrients. They store sugar and minerals, and finally, they carry water and nutrients up to the rest of the plant. Here are some images of roots from various plants. Some are shallow, and some grow very, very deep. Next, you have your stem. The stem of a plant receives and carries water and nutrients from the roots, carries food produced by the leaves from one part of the plant to another, and helps water move up the plant to get distributed throughout its various parts. Stems also provide the support the leaves need to reach the sunlight. Think of the stem as a ladder for the plant, reaching higher and higher and closer to the sun. And then you have the leaves. The leaves are amazing. They actually make the food for the plants through a process of photosynthesis and come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. Look at how small these leaves are. Now look at these. They're absolutely huge. The leaves catch the light and have openings to allow air and water to come and go. And finally, as you can see, there are veins in leaves. Just like your veins carry blood and nutrients you need to live, veins in the leaves of plants carry water and nutrients from one part of the leaf to another. What about flowers? We know they're super pretty to look at, often smell really sweet, and they attract bees. But what do they do? Well, flowers are the seed-making part of the plant, are used for fertilization so the plant can reproduce, and sometimes turn into fruits or vegetables. They're colorful so that pollinators like bees and flies are attracted to them. The part below the flower that protects the buds as they start to bloom is called sepals. What about fruits? We all know they come from plants, but why? Just to be tasty and sweet for animals? Well, yes! That's because fruits contain seeds, and when animals eat them and leave behind their droppings, the seeds in the droppings that weren't digested can then become new plants. Fruits can also take the form of vegetables, and they also have seeds in them. Finally, you've got the seeds themselves. Seeds are where plants start, and they contain all that is needed to make a new plant. They have the plant's DNA already in them. They're full of nutrients that the new plant can use to help it start to sprout out of the ground. They're protected by an outer coat, and they're moved to new locations by the wind, water, or animals. What do you think is the coolest part of a plant? As you can see, all the parts are necessary for the whole plant to survive and thrive. If the parts don't work together, the plants won't be able to, well, be a plant. So the next time you're asked to take care of a plant, remember that all its parts are counting on you. You have to make sure it has enough water, plenty of light, and all of the nutrients it needs so that every part of the plant can do its thing. Under the right conditions, plants can live a long time. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a ficus plant to water.
About the shoot system. So what is the shoot system and what are its functions? Let us see. The part of the plant which grows above the soil is called the shoot. So, here is the shoot which grows above the ground. And the part of the plant which grows below the ground is called roots. So, the roots grow below the ground and the shoot grows above the ground. Understood? The shoot system mainly consists of stem. So what is the importance of stem? As you can see in the picture, this is the stem, and the stem holds the leaves, buds, flowers, and the fruits. The roots absorb the water and the minerals from the soil, and the stem acts as a pipeline and conducts the water and minerals to the other parts of the plant, that is, to the leaves. And we know the leaves prepare the food. The food prepared is again conducted to the other parts of the plant through the stems. So the stem acts as a pipeline. And how does the stem act as a pipeline? Let us see. Here we have cut a branch of tree with flower, or you can say we take a small herb with a white flower. Now we place this branch in a beaker filled with water, and as you can see, the water is red in color. This is due to the red ink drops added to the water. If we leave this beaker overnight, certain changes will take place. And what are these? Let us see. In the morning, you will see there are certain red patches on the white flower, even on the stem. What happened? There are small tubes inside the stem which conduct the water, which is the colored water here, to the other parts of the plant, and hence this white flower has red spots on it, and same with the stem. So this is the way the stem conducts water and also the dissolved minerals in it to the other parts of the plant. Now you might be thinking, how are the leaves arranged on the stem? Here, observe the stem, how it is holding the leaves. If you see, the leaves are spread out to get enough sunlight. And we all know the sunlight is required by the leaves to prepare food during the photosynthesis process. And how are the leaves attached to the stem? If we see, these are the nodes. These are the parts of the stem from which the leaves arise, and we call it node. See, here we have the node, and here too there is a node. And this is the distance between two nodes, and it is called internode. We also know that the stems holds the buds and the flowers. This is a bud. Now the question is, do all the buds blossom into flowers? The answer is no. Here, this is a bud which will blossom into flower. So, this is a floral bud. See, here is the bud which is present in the axil of leaf and the stem. So this is the axil and it is present at the axil of leaf and stem. Hence, this bud is called axillary bud and it may change into a stem or into a leaf. Here there is a bud which grows on the topmost part of the stem and it is called terminal bud. You know, terminal bud increases the height of the plant or the stem, you can say specifically. What are the other uses of stem? In certain plants, the stem cutting can grow into another plant. So, stem cutting is the way by which plant multiplication takes place in certain plants, like in the case of rose and hibiscus. A stem cutting can grow into another plant. So remember children, what are the functions of stem we understood today? First, it holds the leaves and spreads them out to get sunlight. Secondly, it also holds the buds, flowers, fruits, etc. The stem also acts as a pipeline and carries water and food to the other parts of the plants. And lastly, the stem also helps in the multiplication of plant through stem cuttings, but only in few cases such as rose, hibiscus, etc. You know, apart from these, the stem modified to perform special functions. And what are these special functions?
Root system. The underground part of the plant is called root system. The underground main axis of the plant body is called root. It is the prolongation of radicle of the embryo. It is positively geotropic or negatively phototropic. It is not differentiated into nodes and internodes. It is non-chlorophyllous or brown-colored. It does not possess leaves, buds, flowers, and fruits. Lateral roots are produced from main axis in a cropetal succession. Lateral roots are formed from inner region of the main axis, pericycle. So these are called endogenous organs. The small hair-like outgrowth present on the tips of lateral roots and main axis are called root hairs. Root hairs are exogenous organs. Root hairs are found in mesophytes and xerophytes and absent in hydrophytes. The protective layer present around the root tip is called root cap. Root cap is made up of a dead tissue called calyptrogen. Hence, it is also called calyptra. Root cap is well developed in mesophytes and xerophytes, absent in hydrophytes. In free-floating hydrophytes, root pockets are present. Types of root system. In angiosperms, two types of root systems are present. They are 1. Taproot system, 2. Fibrous root system or adventitious root system. Taproot system. The central main axis is called taproot. Taproot is formed by the prolongation of radicle of the embryo. Lateral roots are produced obliquely in all directions from taproot in a cropetal succession. It is most commonly found in dicotyledons. Fibrous root system or adventitious root system. A bunch of new roots are produced from the base of the stem as fibers. So these roots are called fibrous roots and the root system is called fibrous root system. In this, roots are not formed from radicle. So these are also called adventitious roots and the root system is called adventitious root system. It is most commonly found in monocotyledons. Functions of root system. Roots provide anchorage to the plant by fixing it into the soil. Roots absorb water and minerals from the soil. Roots conduct the absorbed water and minerals to the shoot system